not a vampire, not an alien. I'm not the fucking mummy, I'm a goblin.
Oh my fucking god! Can you believe this? I was pleasantly surprised about Miss Marvel episode 1. Yes, I'm still at episode 1. Oh my god! I'm like, holy shit! I didn't think this one would enjoy. I would be like, oh great, another month. I'm gonna watch the Kenobi series. I don't care much about this series. I will not. I'm not kind of enjoying this kind of thing. It's gonna be very much like in your face. What kind of thing? She's a Muslim, and I felt like it's like, okay, they're gonna make this a fucking big deal about her heritage, how people hate the kind of thing going on, hating about it, how they're like trying to deal with that hate, how they like always like trying to be like, oh, we're gonna need to be respected. No. We're not all in that kind of scenario. Where she is a kind of thing, and you see some, you know, her Muslim culture kind of going on, but the way they did that was so much more better than you know, the CW would do it. Kind of thing. It's done well. It's freaking her all, and to relate on it. She's a YouTuber. Oh my god, she has YouTube. I'm like, holy shit, and she has just as many views as me. 5 fucking views. That's kind of. I think I have more subscribers, but she has like 5 views. But she rolls out kind of thing. I love it how she kind of thing, and she does her videos, and you get this cartoonish look kind of thing, recapping why she's so fan of Captain Marvel, why she thinks she is kind of thing. That's like that Captain Marvel did this. You can make it out like, oh yeah, this could be, because so far in the MCU, like the movies, Scarlet Witch was my favorite. And did we see much of her? No. She has not been a main kind of thing. We don't see kind of thing. She's more a background character, but I still love the hell out of it. She got explored kind of thing. Sure, I know her also from the comics. That's also helped. But it's like, okay, so I can see this girl being fangirling about Captain Marvel. Like, she's very strong. She is kind of very powerful. She is kind of thing. I can see that, like, you don't know her personally, but you've seen her on TV. You've seen her kind of thing. She went out of space. It's like, why did she kind of... I mean, she wants to say, but like her theories about kind of thing, her life, and how she is like without kind of thing. But they have a point, and in her kind of thing, it's like, but who wouldn't kind of want? I mean, I felt like Scarlet Witch would have able to obliterate him if I wanted, and I felt like, oh yeah, she could have done the ultimate punch, but apparently it was like a long fight with more of a kind of thing. Thor cut him out, kind of thing, and Iron Man did the final kind of snap. But also, I'm a big fan of Scarlet Witch, so I would not have been done. Like, you know what? Scarlet Witch did it without kind of. I'm the same boat as her. Sure, with me it's with the Scarlet Witch, and the Scarlet Witch became more powerful and powerful and powerful. But you know, I like somebody's opinion! Kind of thing. So I get the fan kind of thing. So that's already 2 things relatable, kind of thing. And then she also is a cosplayer, and I'm like, I want to go as Beetlejuice. I don't know, that kind of thing. I mean, I've been to Comic Cons before, kind of thing, but always dressed like my normal clothes. What is also weird and ridiculous, but still, it's not cosplay. So kind of thing. I'm like, oh, cosplayer kind of thing. That's all kind of, and her kind of Muslim parents being like, yeah, you cannot kind of thing. You should, you cannot go to there even. And she has a like best friend that's kind of also a very geeky kind of thing. She that reminds me of me kind of thing. It's like also seems like having a crush on her. Kind of, I don't know if you can relate. I don't have my best friend. I didn't have a crush on. But she was awesome. I did have a best friend that I had in school, like a school best friend that I had a crush on. That kind of, but that went like on off till 18, and then I'm like, shut up! You freaking crushed me too many times. I should not have a kind of thing. So it seems like, you know, he's also relatable. So there are two characters very relatable. That I'm like, alright, I can see myself in them very much. Like both of them. Also overprotecting parents. I am an overprotecting mother. That's like holy fucking shit. So I get that. I don't have an overprotecting dad like she does, but kind of thing. But she also has a brother with a cool, awesome beard. And I'm like, I can relate to that. I have an awesome beard. It's like lots of things blow my mind how freaking I love this show. I was like, is this better than a Kenobi series? I think it is! But I like Star Wars much better than Marvel. But somehow, I like this more than the Kenobi series. I was blown away from my mind. And she also is like, okay, let's want her and her own kind of thing. She does has a mask on. I'm like, yeah, the mask. You look better without mask. Oh my god, am I saying that? Am I really saying that she looks better? Because I always love like the mask, and I feel like, oh great, big actor needs to do the mask off because, you know, big actor kind of thing. It's always like, hey, I got this mask, but I don't do it on 90% of the movie. That's my kind of thing. It's like, really, like, just hold on the mask. Why do you kind of thing? Have you seen The Mandalorian? Have you seen The Mandalorian? They can do that. That's also the shebang why I stopped watching Halo. It's like, and this mask is off again. I mean, it's Hello Master Chief. Come on, keep your mask on. It's like, at least when you battle, at least. But it's like, oh my god, this is so slow show. God damn it. I'm very much kind of thing. The first episode of the kind of thing, I stick with it. Was really good start. Like I got everything I wanted, but the second episode was slow. The third episode was slow. It's like kept being slow and not so much action as you should. But you know. And also, Master Chief almost not got his freaking helmet on in some episodes. So like, at least get your helmet on the half of the episode. But no. It's like, no, it doesn't want to. That's like complaining about that show. But this show doesn't, she looks better without mask. She kind of has this more relatable, I mean, YouTuber, cosplayer, and freaking fanboy about kind of thing. I see her side kind of thing. Her overprotective parents. And then eventually they let her go. It's like, and your father is gonna come with you. You can be little Hulk and Black Hulk. Like, really? It's like, that's not even a thing. It's like, what? Why? It's like, oh my god. And it's like, I can be, like, why you want the Hulk and not Captain Marvel? It's like, Captain Marvel has this army kind of thing going on. She has this kind of thing, and somehow they think that's too sexual kind of thing. It's like, really? I don't see anything sexual. Maybe, no, not even in our normal. I mean, it looks badass, but that's not sexual badass. That doesn't exist bad. Maybe her first costume that's her bully kind of thing, and she gets bullied kind of thing on the school. Who doesn't? You know, I did get bullied on school. Before I got this awesome beard, and now nobody can bully me because I'm too awesome, too great. Also, my insanity helps. Anyway, so she goes to this Comic-Con where her bully is there, but it's like very much like you see that she's a bully, and her her kind of thing. You see, like you don't see why, but it makes like sense that she is a bully kind of thing. It's just like not done in like, oh, we're gonna force her to be a kind of thing. She's more like, she can be nice, but she doesn't want to be nice against her. She just wants somebody to hate on her and kind of thing. Anyway, with her best friend, they sneak away kind of thing. Even though now she's grounded because, you know, she made her father cry. And she cannot go, but she goes anyway. Then her bike kind of thing is like, that's and also I thought a cartoon kind of thing going overboard, but you see it on the wall when she explains stuff kind of thing. And I'm like okay, how can she go as Captain Marvel? A zombie version, this version, that version, and like you see all this version. I'm like, that's cool. Also, she has this bands kind of thing that also is those bands, cosmic bands kind of thing that she is bringing out because her grandmother gave this, but her mother's like, no, you're not getting that. Oh no, you're not getting second guess. It's like, no, this kind of thing going away. It's like, what, why, man, why? But it goes away. It's like, oh man, that's a baller. And it gets away. It's like, no. But she steals it anyway and then goes off. It's like, okay, giving it a little bit of money. Like, this is my arrogance, my kind of thing. It's not, I mean, she's like, maybe this is like this, because her best friend, it's like, you know what, Mama, and maybe you need some of your culture in that kind of thing to make it a little bit more yours. And I'm like, that in any other thing, I would say that's stupid to do. Like, kind of things like, oh, great, now we're gonna make, but in this one, they done it beautifully. They're like the kind of things like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, she kind of thing, how she feels, how they think, that makes sense to get, everything makes so much sense in this show. It's like feels like they really thought about it. It was not like one of those CBW shows where they're like, we're gonna make it about that. We're gonna make it good in your face. We're gonna make it like kind of thing why she does it. She has to explain it kind of thing because we also need a hater. That's that kind of thing. Like, no. Kind of thing. The way Miss Marvel does this, it's beautiful done. It's kind of thing. And then she goes to the thing, does the lights, she has this, our powers kick in for kind of thing. It's like she gets open, gets in, and then it's when everything gets screwed. She's like, oh shit, what am I doing? Kind of thing. Then it's like, oh my god, the last show. Then her bully, this was like fun, and the hammer of kind of thing of Thor, like a big hammer in the comic con kind of thing, God smashes her gun, and I'm like, ha ha, that's funny. Also, that's not her, but she was still on it, so she's like, ah. Then Thomas kind of thing, she saves her kind of thing because, you know, she's still a good girl. Saves her from falling, you know, to break a few of her legs. Kind of things like a hand kind of going on. I'm like, you know, the only thing I thought was wrong with this was the cosmic thing, but right now, I don't give a shit. I feel like this was done really good. I thought the cartoonists could work. I was not sure how this all would play out, how they're gonna tackle things, because in the Winter Soldier they also tackle stuff. I'm like, really? That's the way you're gonna do it? Kind of thing. But in this one, really, from begin to end of the episode, really good. I mean, she goes back home after, you know, her bike got stolen, because, you know, apparently the boss in New York kind of thing, they're like, your bike is gone, that doesn't matter. It's like, nobody's like, can you wait a few seconds there so I can bike? I mean, in a train, that may be gonna be everywhere, because the train conductor is all the way there, and they gonna, but a bus most likely would open the door. It's like, oh, sorry. But maybe that's like in New York, really? New York would do that. I'm like, holy shit, people are crazy. Anyway, then she gets back home. Of course, her mother's sitting there and she's in trouble. It's like, oh shit, kind of thing. I love it. I think also my mother would be the fucking same thing. If I come home without any call, without kind of thing, sneaking out, I would have been in big trouble if I did that on skate. I'm like, uh-oh. It's like, why didn't you tell me? You could have kind of thing and fucking remember something. It's like, oh my god, chill, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yes, I enjoyed it. I give it an Omega level kind of thing. I felt like this blew me out of way how good it could. I mean, with the Kenobi series, I was like, okay, this is kind of fine. And then it's like, oh, this is more than fine. And then it went back down, kind of thing. It's like, I was hyped for that. Maybe my expectation for that show was way bigger. And this expectation for this show was very low. And it got really big. It was, I cannot say, so far, from all the TV shows besides the WandaVision, because I love that show, because Wanda is in it. Like, she is a fan of Captain Marvel. I'm a big fan of Scarlet Witch. She like, and that original story was very cool. I love some witchery. Was there another kind of thing? There were other shows. I mean, The Mandalorian is always going to be my favorite. But from the Marvel shows, Loki was cool. But I think the WandaVision, then after maybe Loki, but I also feel like, I gotta say, I feel like Miss Marvel could be better on Loki. Oh my god, yes! Fuck, don't attack me. Chill the fuck out. But I feel like right now, if episodes keep going so good as this one, I feel like this is gonna be great, even better kind of thing. If the show keeps this pace going, this way they do it in this kind of episode, it felt really good, felt really very well done. I'm just gonna say this is pretty good, and I want to keep this going on. I hope they keep this pace going. I hope this the way they did this episode, the whole series is kind of thing, because then it's gonna be great, very very fucking great. Anyway, see you in the next episode. I think if you want to see those, subscribe, like, and see you guys soon. I'm the Twisted Goblin, if you didn't notice. And I see you guys in the next ones. Goodbye, Goblin Nation. Goodbye.
Then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind.